There's a few things. There's a few things. All right, let's just get going. What is up? Oh, let me get rid of that thing. That's from last time. Jeez, what am I doing? There we go. What is up, everybody? DanDanTheFireman. We're going to be talking about short people. The short person's guide to motorcycle riding. So today's Tuesday. So Tuesday videos, they go up, they stay up. Once it's live, it's live. And then it goes public. So we're trying something different. Tuesdays, Thursdays, there you go. Mondays, we had a video yesterday. Hopefully you checked it out. It's how to ride in the heat. And it's something that we're going to have to be doing here locally. It's going to be hot. So we're going to talk about short riders and some of the issues that you guys might have. I know I have on certain bikes, like the FTR that's coming out. It's a pretty high seat height, but what we're going to talk about is that it's not only the seat height in terms of inches that's the problem, it's seat width and a few other things. So, Solo Shooter says beer 30 here. Not for me today. Not for me. I'm going to go ahead and take a nice little relaxation. After this, I'm going to go work out. But I'm going to be answering you guys' not phone calls. I'm going to be answering you guys' comments. Hope you guys have some really good ones. Really good ones. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and start talking about this stuff. All right, so the short person's guide. Now remember, this is live stream, so I don't have anything really bullet pointed. I'm going off of something that I just read. So this is kind of like the rough draft of a video. So if you guys like this topic and you want me to expand on it more and you want me to go even more in depth, please let me know. So first of all, short. The first thing that comes up is that you have short legs. Okay, it's a big, bulky motorcycle, especially for first-time riders. How you doing, Jonkavar? How you doing? Hatsu Jitsu, yes, it can be. It can be lowered. So first of all, short riders, getting your legs over a bike is a little bit difficult. I mean, the bike is a little bit heavy. It's tall, and as a new rider, you want to have absolute full control of the motorcycle because, well, first of all, you don't know exactly what you're doing. You're a new rider, so having full control of the motorcycle, which means having both feet on the ground, able to pretty much control it like it's a toy, is very enticing, and it's something that you really want to do. But once you start getting riding, I just want you to understand, guys, once you start getting riding, um, having your feet on the ground is not the absolute thing that you need to have. But as a new rider, yes. So I could see where that little frustration is. I could see why you want to have that as a new rider. Now, the main thing that you really want to have is bar control. You want to have, you want to be able to reach the controls. You want to be able to reach, the ignition, the throttle, the clutch, without having to reach super duper far. So it's not just about legs, guys. It's about arms also. It's about upper body torso. How short are you to where do you have to like almost reach way super far to get to the clutch? I mean, is it something that's uncomfortable for you? So, I mean, a giant bike is not going to be the best. You also want to have access to the foot controls. Some forward-controlled bikes that have super aggressive bar angles to where you're almost like in a V like this. Here's your feet, here's your upper body. That could be an issue. So, once again, it's not just about how tall the bike is. It's about how you fit on the bike, the ergonomics of the bike. So I want you guys to understand that. That is a big thing. That is a very big thing. And just remember, somebody just, Hazi Jitsu, can a bike be lowered to accompany short riders? Yes, a bike can be lowered. There's special ways of doing that. But just remember, one of the easiest ways to do something like that, if you can't get your leg over, if you're sitting down, you can't flat foot it. Instead of lowering the actual bike, because that might be expensive, for one, it might be expensive for two. It's going to change a lot of the dynamics of the actual bike because the bike was designed a certain way, and now you're making to it. So one of the easiest things that you can possibly do is get a different seat. I can tell you right now, my Mustang Fastback seat is super duper wide. It's like wide in the area to where when I sit down, now when my legs go around it, now my legs almost get pushed out, and then it has to go down. So if you have a super wide seat, that will cause it to where you will not be able to touch the ground as easily. Now, if you have like a narrow seat, it's up here, kind of like a dirt bike. Does that make sense? Kind of like a dirt bike seat where it's kind of narrow almost, and then your legs are mostly going straight down. You'll have better reach to the ground. So maybe take a look at your seat. See if there's an issue with the seat, if it's wide or if it's narrow. So double check that. A 25 or no, let's say 28 inch seat height with a narrow seat is you're gonna be able to flat foot, or you're able to touch the ground sooner if you have a 28-inch seat height with a super duper wide seat. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. Once again, I'm not looking at the questions or the comments right now. I'm kind of focused on the topic at hand. After the topic at hand is discussed, we're gonna go into the Q&A. And anyways, so you want to look at the seat. Another thing that you can do is maybe possibly get a seat that has less cushion. I know it sucks because now your butt's going to hurt more. But less cushion means less foam, means reduced reach. There you go. So you can have that. John Core, that's a good question about doggos. I love doggos. We could maybe talk about that. All right. So another thing that matters, now it's not just the seats that can be narrow, it's that, once again, if you choose a bike that has a certain type of engine, so what I'm doing is I have a resource right here, which is linked in the description. It's right underneath where all my gear is. That's where I'm getting a lot of my information. I'm summarizing a lot of it and giving my own input, is that engines also matter. So they're saying that transverse inline fours, which includes a lot of Japanese bikes, are wider. So they're wider, as in their, the bike. So it's going to make the bike itself wider. So when it comes to that, it's going to make the bike wider. So you're going to have a wider seat. You're possibly going to have to deal with some of those things. So the frame itself might be a little bit bigger. So you might have to squeeze your legs about around it even tighter. So an inline or a V twin is going to be a little bit slimmer. So it might be a little bit of an issue to do that. So definitely check out the source. I have it on here. And when I was talking about ergonomics, so like this is your upper body, so you're reaching for the controls, the handlebars, and these are your feet, where you're reaching for the forward pegs, like the forward controls of a cruiser. So it's like a super aggressive type thing. If you're short, it's gonna be an issue. So feet position is very important. One thing that really helps out, one thing I've always recommended for new riders, is mid controls. So instead of being like this, you're more like this. So here's your feet and here's your upper body. So now you have your feet there. And so instead of having to be like this, you're more so like this, where you're sitting down and not super like V-shaped. That will help out with some control of the bike. And then at the same time, whenever it comes to a stop, you just put your foot down instead of having to reach around with your foot, having a long distance to move your bike or move your foot. I see some people talking about fat boys and Harley streets and irons and all that stuff. All right. So like I said, in generally, it's a bad idea to lower your suspension because now you have less travel. Any type of bike lowering, you're going to have less travel. You're going to have less movement. It's not designed that way. It's designed to be the way it is when you first get the bike, and it'll cost more. So like I said, I don't recommend lowering your suspension. And it doesn't really help too much. I mean, if you lower it an inch, it might lower an inch for you, but it's going to change your bike's dynamics a lot. So how do you ride? So let's say you're short and you got all these things. Like, there's only so much you could do. There's only so many little things that you can do. So how do you ride a bike? If you're like me, especially with my seat, I change positions and I change my butt. My butt moves around on the seat a lot. I usually sit back when I'm going a longer distance, and I'll move around. I'll sit back and relax, but if I want to do like a very slow speed short turn, or if I want to make an actual turn, I actually scoot my butt really far forward, almost to the gas tank, so I can get really close to the front controls. So that's something you might have to do, move a little bit closer to the front controls. So that's very important. I was actually looking into Saddlemen, seeing if they can make a seat where I don't have to keep moving back and forth, back and forth. I really want to be pushed up forward. We'll see what they want to do. Another thing is know where your foot pegs are. Knowing where your foot pegs are is very important, because if you have to put your foot down, you're super duper short, it's already hard enough. Well, if you know where your foot pegs are, you put your foot down and you put your foot back up, you know exactly where it's going to be. So you want to know exactly right where you put your legs when you get off from a start. You want to know exactly where you move your feet from the pegs to the ground when you stop. Also, if you're going to be a shorter rider, that means you're not going to have full control of waddling the bike, walking the bike here and there. So the one thing that you're going to want to do is learn how to do some slow speed maneuvers. Now, take an MSF course. That's a great way of doing it. Ride Arizona MTC bus. Make sure you guys are paying attention. So learn your slow speed maneuvers. Learn how to do a U-turn. Learn how to do figure eight. Learn how to do a slow speed. It's not slalom, but make sure you do your what is it? Slow speed turns and everything like that. It's very important. That way you don't have to put your feet down. Do not put your feet down if you can't walk because they're too short. So learn your slow speed maneuvers. Okay. Another thing that you can do is use the terrain. So like, let's say you're coming up to a stop. You're coming up to a stop at a red light. If you see like a median, if you're gonna make a left turn, for instance, so you're gonna make a left turn at a light. There's a median there. Park a little bit close to the median. Put your left foot on the curb of the median, and there you go. You just gave yourself an extra 6 inches of platform shoes with the median. So now you can actually put your foot down. So if you have to, use stuff like that. Okay, use the curbs. Use anything. Okay. Now, those are some of my tips. There's a few more. There's a few more things out there, but I really want to get to the questions that you guys have. If you guys liked kind of where that topic was going, please let me know. Write it in the comments. Say yes, make a video on this. But like obviously with the editing, with the detail, with pictures, all that stuff. Right now, what I'm doing here is mainly just talking and letting you guys know, because if I spent the time making the video, you wouldn't see it until next Monday, right? So I want you to be able to see it now, and now you can ask questions. That's the great thing about live streams. So I'm gonna start with Elvis because that's a massive amount. Wait, no, Nikki says she has a picture of you resting your foot on a median at a light. Yeah, I do that. I'm short as heck, man. So we're gonna start with Elvis Henry. Okay, so lowered my Ninja 400 2 inches and it handles great. Dealer used Kawasaki ports before lowering it. I could not 1 foot the bike. Now I am on the balls of both feet and totally confident controlling my bike. Yeah, boy, good job, man. So sometimes it can be done. There's companies that, even the companies that make it, like you were saying, the Kawasaki Ninja. You got the Kawasaki Ninja that they have. The companies themselves usually have a way of doing that, because this has been an issue for many people, and they want people to ride their bikes, so they have OEM parts. So yeah, that's another thing. That's a great Elvis. That was a great comment, because guys, if you're out looking for a bike, ask your dealer at the same time, hey, I want to buy a bike. I can't flat foot it. Is there any way of getting this lowered? And who knows, maybe they could do it. So that was a great comment. That was a great comment. Let's see. Take the MSF Solo Shooter 22. Yeah, boy. Take the MSF. Definitely take the MSF. Definitely. JJ Sinister. I know how to ride. I've ridden before, but I need to get my license again. Yeah, JJ Sinister. Definitely take the MSF rider course. Take the BRC 1. That way you can just mess around on their bikes, and you get the endorsement if you don't already have it. If you pass the class, and it's a lot of fun. John Kavar, yeah, she's a very good cook. I need to stop eating. It's terrible for my health just because I like to eat too much. Just asked her last night. She took a plate from me because she's like, you're not hungry, you just like to eat. So that happened. Would you not just recommend a cruiser for short riders? So Iron Maiden Babe, cruisers are generally lower seat height. Like the Indian Scout is a 25-inch seat height. It's a pretty narrow seat, so you can actually get a lot of leg room. You can actually flat foot it. Short people can really flat foot it. The Honda Rebel 500 and 300, the new one, yes, you could do the same thing, and it's a cruiser. I believe the Kawasaki Vulcan S, same thing. My bike, kinda, the Sportster. So the Sportsters are kind of like that too. So a lot of cruisers are kind of designed that way. But you can get away with like an FZ07 that has a really narrow seat. You can get the KTM 390. It's a great beginner bike, and I heard it's a very narrow seat. I haven't sat on a lot of sport bikes. My channel has mostly been cruisers, but I definitely want to branch into the sport bikes, so I'm going to probably check them out at the Ride Now here locally. So if you guys want to see this video, I will do my extra research by going to the dealership, sitting on a bunch of bikes, and figuring out which ones are good for new riders that are short. So let me know. Let me know if you guys want to see this video. Lovato gotta go. I think this topic would be a very good topic. Yeah. If you guys think so. Yeah. OEM parts. Let's see. What'd I miss? Oh yeah, I answered that. Sports are low, Softail Slim are low, Cruisers, Rebels are pretty low too. Yeah, Cafe Nightster. Exactly. Plus, you save on insurance when you take the rider's course. Yes, you do. You do save on some insurance. Make sure you let your insurance company know, your motorcycle insurance company know that you passed the MSF. It's very important. Which course allows you to take your own bike, Christina? So the first course, the absolute beginning course that lets you take your bike is the BRC 2. So the MSF beginner rider course 2, then the advanced course. I think the intermediate course allows you 2. There's one version of bike bonding that allows you. So there's that. Sport bikes. What's up? Eat the buzz. Use a smaller plate. It's what I do. Ah, man. Then I just keep getting up and getting more and more and more. Soupy No One wants to see the video. All right, man. Guys, I'll make this video. I like it. I'll probably reuse the thumbnail. I like the thumbnail. Harley Davidson's coming out with the Street Fighter 2020 model year. Yeah, so the Street Fighter 2020, or the Harley Street Fighter, is going to be their version of a sport bike. I wonder how it's going to do. The Livewire was a terrible launch. I really want to see what they have to offer when it comes to how much the price is. I mean, it's a 1200, so it's going to be. What I really am interested in is the engine, because it looks like a different engine. I wonder if it's going to be a modular type engine and frame. That way they can put that into whatever it is they want. And then on top of that, they'll be able to make a smaller engine, but in the same thing. So the Street Fighter, instead of being a 750, it's going to be, I'm sorry, instead of the Street Fighter being 1200, you can put a 750 engine in it. Let's see. am live. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Ethan Love, Harley Davidson Softail Springer. Softail Springer is a little bit. I've actually seen a Softail Springer in person. It's very beautiful bikes. But once again, you're going with older technology. I prefer modern over older, just because there's a reason that it's modern safety wise. Older, you're gonna ride around and you'll have appreciation for it. But honestly, I'd like to have modern. Can I ride in the USA with the UK motorcycle license? Iron Maiden Babe, I believe you have to. I don't know. That's a good question. Anybody else can answer that? I was gonna say, I believe you'd have to at least get like a. I think if you're getting like a traveler's visa or something, I don't know exactly how that works. Hey Dan, I just got my license and insurance for Ducati Monster 900. First time rider. Any tips? I've been practicing in a parking lot and on residential side roads. So right now you're doing great. You're practicing in parking lots and residential side roads. It's very important, Brett. Brett Huerta. Ducati Monster 900. That's a crazy bike, but it seems like you're taking it smart. You're riding to your ability, not the bike's. Keep doing that until you feel a little more confident. Once you get a little more confident, instead of doing residential side roads, just do the residential roads. And then from there, move on to a little bit more. But definitely keep going back to the parking lot to practice. One thing, guys, that I haven't mentioned yet, so Brett, this is kind of directed to you, is that on the DDFM training manual, that is something that I have for all patrons. It's $1 a month, 3 cents a day. You get access to the DDFM training manual. It's a 12 parking lot practice exercises and a bunch of other stuff. You might want to swing by and check that out, or check out the Discord. But let's go ahead and I just want you to know that on Patreon, I lowered the tier that has access to the DDFM training manual. And it'd be great to have you there on the Patreon. We're at 239. Let's see if we can hit 250 today. We're still trying to hit 250, but let's see if we can do it. Maybe get 240 at least. Let's get that ADD out of here. Harleys have a good chunky front tire, big bike, good grip. Yeah, the 48s have massive front tires. Today's video hit home for me. I'm going to start a safety gear trend in Virginia. Dan Che, if you're talking about the video I sent out to patrons, yeah, man. Let's do it. Okay, y'all, I got to go. Have a great day. Christina, thank you for stopping by. 3 new bikes, boys. What'd you say? What's that? Three new bikes coming out next year for Harley Davidson. Looks like the same engine. Yeah, so that'd be kind of cool. Like I said, it'd be really nice if they were modular framed, modular engines, so you can come out with the 750 engine in the same frame. Let's see. If I won the lottery, I'd love to own a Harley one day. Ethan Love, I'm doing great over here. Thank you for asking, everybody in the chat. Hey guys, it's OG Terrified from Twitch, Night Rider 09, but yo, Wayne, how you doing? I like the username Night Rider 09. I do too. I like it too. What do you think is the most important thing to learn on a bike first? So JuzzBuzz1, the most important thing to learn on the bike. Let's say you've never. I mean, let's say. Okay, let's see. Let's dive deep into this one. What do you think is the most important thing to learn on a bike first? Clutch control. Okay, so I sometimes when I read a comment or read a question, the first thing that pops in my head is what I want to go with because that's my gut. Clutch control. You need to know how to use the clutch because that will remove power from the rear wheel. So in an emergency situation, you pull in the clutch. You need to know how to use the clutch because you have to find the friction zone in order to start moving without stalling. So clutch once again. You need to know how to use the friction zone. You need to have smooth clutch control when you are shifting gears. So once again, clutch again. Slow speed maneuvers, clutch again. So clutch is your friend. That clutch lever is the one thing that I say that you need to understand and know and master. Everything else will come at you. So yeah, clutch. So Knight Rider 09, I clicked when I read short person. I figured I should pay attention to what we doing. So we talked the first 10-15 minutes of this this live stream. We have a topic, which was the topic of the night about short rider, short person guide to motorcycles. And then after that, we kind of go into a Q&A where I just keep talking and talking and talking. And what we talked about is basically don't lower the motorcycle yourself. Somebody here mentioned that their Kawasaki was lowered by the factory. It worked out great. Go ahead. That's awesome. So don't lower the motorcycle. First thing I would do is probably lower the seat or change seats out. Get more of a narrow seat, not a wide seat. A narrow seat is will make it to where. Sorry, excuse me. When I talk too fast, I don't breathe. A narrow seat. So like if you have a bike height of 28 inches, a narrow seat versus a wide seat on the same exact bike, the narrow seat will allow you to have greater reach to the ground. So getting a narrower seat is more important than having anything else changed on the bike. But the one thing that you really want to focus on is being able to reach the controls. That's more important. Once you get moving, having your feet on the ground is not a big deal. If you are having trouble with your feet on the ground and you can't reach, it's going to be hard to waddle and walk the bike. So really learn slow speed maneuvers while on the bike. So take an MSF course, see the DDFM training manual because I have all that stuff on there, and that will help you out. All right, so let's see. What about the other end of the spectrum? Oh, one second. Joshua Burley, what size is best for newbies? It's whatever it is you're comfortable with. Whatever it is you're comfortable with, just ride within your ability, not the bike's ability. But definitely, if you're gonna go sport bike, probably like a Ninja 300 or cruiser would be a Rebel 300, 500. I think those are probably the best ones you can do. You should do a test ride and review the FXDR 114. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to if they'd let me. I would have to do it on a demo ride. So awesome play. What about the other end of the spectrum? I'm 6'4", 260 pounds. I would like to get myself a super sport bike this summer. Any idea? You might have to get a bigger bike. Sport bikes are designed for like the average person. You're above average, buddy. You're super tall. You should be a basketball player or a football player. I'm 5'6", so this sport bikes seem a little small to me already. So you're probably gonna have to get something like I don't know. See, here's the thing: is I wouldn't know. I would definitely check out I'd go to the dealership and sit on a bunch of bikes and see which ones fit you. That's the best thing you could do. Everybody's different. I don't know how your body is specifically designed, but definitely check out the dealership and sit on a bunch of bikes. That's something I recommend. Even if you're short, I recommend if you're just brand new. That's what you should do, boys. So John Kavar, friction zone, head checks, kickstand. Yeah. Oops, I sent that and wasn't done. The MSG. MSF. There we go. Yeah, MSF is very important. Yes, sir. Mental awareness and skills, repetitive behavior on safety. When you get into a certain situation, to stop the power to the engine, when to apply it, yes. So solo shooter, I agree. I dropped half inch with Burley slammer shocks, does fine for me. Yeah, so you can get away with that, especially with I believe Dan. We have Sportsters and stuff. That right there you can get away with. That right there you can get away with. But there's some people that actually reduce mechanically everything, so that could be an issue. Can short riders have larger people riding pillion? If so, I would like my male friends to ride on the back of my bike, but been too afraid to try. Yes, they can. Your bike is designed for that. Just be aware that if you can't reach the ground, so at stoplights and when they enter and exit or mount and unmount the bike, you need to have flat footing. I mean, you're gonna have to be able to hold the bike because you can't be riding and have them jump on. So if they can reach the ground from the pillion position, then that might help. But for the most part, you need to be a little bit careful with that. But yeah, you could definitely have larger people riding on the back. I'm a tad bit taller than the guy I bought the bike from, and he never complains, so hopefully I'm okay there. Yeah. I've never dropped a bike, but I want an old school chopper with ape hangers. Ethan Love, yeah, those are fun to ride. Doing turning and stuff kind of sucks, though. I see some MSF in here. Yo, boy. I love my Ninja 400, great beginner bike. Aloha, yeah, boy. Just got to counterbalance is what I think. Yeah. Back brake, yeah, okay. Would you ever do a review on a Suzuki TU 250X? Just Buzz, I could, because at Riders on MTC, that they have one of those. They have one of those, and I can go ride around on it and probably do a review. But it's going to be one of those used bikes, you know what I mean? It's not brand new, but they're all pretty fun. How come Indians are more than Harleys? Not necessarily all the time. Not necessarily all the time. Indians, if they are a little bit more, they're like maybe $100 more, $200 more, $300 more, something like that. But you're getting way more for that. So I'd save up that little extra. Cruises all the way for tall people, or get a Hayabusa or a ZX14. That's a Hayabusa or a ZX14. That's insane. But yeah, I'd like to see somebody try that. Lonnie Mathis, I'm 5'7", 190, and 60 years old. I'm looking at a Yamaha Raider. Am I biting off more than I could chew? I have not ridden in quite some time, but I'm not afraid of the power. Yamaha Raider, I don't know what that is. Let me look it up. That's the great thing about having this on the computer. Yamaha Raider. Ooh, that's a beautiful bike. Let me look at the CCs. Let me look at how heavy it is and all that stuff. Because when I read your thing, I heard 60 years old. Or I read 60 years old. Haven't rode in a while. It's an 1854 cc air cooled. It's a beautiful bike. It's not even that. It's not super expensive either. 5-speed though. That's a little weird. Let's look at the dimensions real quick. So the seat height is 27.4 inches, and you said you were 5'7", so you should be able to handle that. Here's the thing: is the only thing you're gonna have to really worry about is the weight. And I see that biting off more than you could chew. I've not ridden in quite some time, but I'm not afraid of the power. So if you're not afraid of the power and you're used to riding, I think you'll be able to handle it. The weight is like 700 something pounds, so that might be an issue. But if you ever drop the bike, there's an easy way to pick it up, and I have a video on it. Use your legs, not your body, your upper body. So definitely take a look at it. So Lonnie, you might want to check out the DDFM training manual on Patreon right here, patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. That way it'll get you started. Here's one thing, guys, is that for almost every comment that I get from somebody saying, hey, I'm going to take the MSF rider course, hey, I'm going to take the VRC, hey, I'm going to do this, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it this weekend. I'll say, congrats, thank you for signing up for a class, good luck. And then I get a text a week later saying, hey, I knew like almost half. I knew more than half, like of all the answers of like everything that was discussed in class because of all your videos. I started watching all your videos before taking it. So guys, if you would like to have access to more of a condensed training manual on how to do certain things, especially on the practical part, on the range, check out the training manual right there. Let's see if we can get to 500 patrons, but let's see if we can at least get two more today, 2 or 3 more today. Let's get 250. Let's get 245. I want to make it to where it's one of those numbers. You know what I mean? So guys, please swing on by patreon.com, support the channel, support me and what I'm doing. If I give you the value, please, let's share it. So red, orange, liquid dripping near carbs. Any idea what it could be? Also grinding sound. I try to start it. Alaha. That does not sound good. Red, orange, liquid. The only thing I could think of a red, orange liquid would be your radiator fluid. There's nothing else really there that's that. I mean, motor oil is a different color than that, but usually that liquid's green. Cars are usually the red. Ask that question in Motorcycle Help in the Discord, the maintenance and gear section. Oh, you did. Carbon Sniper. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, so that's a great question. I wouldn't know. So that's you're using the service, you're using the resource. Thank you. I'm sure somebody will get to that really quick. On what model you got? Okay. Looking in the Yamaha Striker Super Sport bikes are kind of small. I'm kind of the same belt. I have a VTR solo shooter. You boy. John Kavar with the emojis still, man. I love it. The reason I'm asking is because that someone told me that Harley isn't American made, but Indians are, but I don't believe them. So Harleys aren't American made. A lot of Harleys and Indians aren't really American made. They're American assembled. So a lot of the parts are outsourced, but they're assembled in America. I'm gonna tell you what. If I had to choose between a sports like an Iron 1200 versus the Scout Bobber, I would choose the Scout Bobber. I would choose Indian. I'm gonna wait a little bit because I like the FTR. So if I'm gonna get an Indian, I'm gonna get the FTR. So that's what I'm gonna do. What's up, Casey Rusk-Witalski? How you doing, boys? Is 5'9" short? SA Chava 22. I'm 5'6". I'm short. Elvis Henry's 5 foot, and that is short. Yeah. But the AB hangers is like a completely new experience. It's like riding again for the first time. Yes. So changing Dan Shea said that changing the bars is a brand new experience. I went from stock bars to Cafe Sportster clip-ons. I went to clip-ons on my Sportster. Huge experience. And I went from that to the bars that I have currently. Big experience. It is like riding a completely different bike. So instead of buying a whole new bike, for the most part, maybe change out the bars. It's a lot of fun. Scout Bobber boys. Ethan Love 6'2". Are we going into who's taller now? Who's taller? Let's see. I'm 6'4", 260 pounds, trying to find a super sport. Currently on a cruiser. Any ideas? Awesome. Okay, yeah. So you asked that question a little bit earlier. So tall sport bikes. Sport bikes for tall riders. All right. So you're going to probably get away with a lot of the adventure bikes. They're really, really good. Suzuki SV650 is a good bike. Yamaha XSR 900. Ducati Diavel. But a lot of these are powerful bikes, big bikes. That's one of the problems that you're going to have. Are you dead set on moving to sport bikes for... One sec. Are you completely pushed on sport bikes? I mean, and cruisers are fun. Cruisers are absolute fun. One second. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Yeah, so definitely. Oh, you want to do it for track days? Okay. Definitely want to go. Like I said, you want to go to the dealer. Hey, Lies in the Skies, how you doing? You definitely want to go into the dealership and sit on some bikes, man. That's the only thing I can tell you. But if you're gonna be if you're that tall, you're definitely gonna want to look into the new Diavel is $15,000. Yeah, that's one of the problems. Sometimes you can get away. Sometimes you can get away with even a smaller bike, but definitely sit on it. Have you tried sitting on a bunch of bikes? Have you sat on a bunch of bikes yet? Pleb. Awesome pleb. I'm 17, old school as crap, boy. Dan, you have to take my Indian for a ride on the camping trip. That would be fun. That would be fun. My mom is 5'4". Yeah, I'm 5'6". I'm 5'6". So you get for taller bikes, you're definitely gonna get away with some of these adventure bikes. The adventure bikes are designed to be pretty tall. That's pretty much where you're stuck. The Diavel is a good bike, but it's expensive. Cruisers are a lot of cruisers have different seat heights. You could definitely move around on a cruiser, but there's not much in terms of sport bikes. Sport bikes are really designed for more of the shorter people. But I've seen some really tall people get on sport bikes. Alaha, Dan the motorcycle man, boys, 5'7", but legs are short. Yeah, that's one thing that's weird is that some people are super tall, but I have the same inseam. I have a 30-inch inseam, and I'm 5'6". So a lot of people they're like, I'm 5'9" or 6 foot, and I got a 30-inch inseam. I'm like, damn, how big is your torso? Unless I just have big ass long legs. I think that's what it is. I have long ass legs. So guys. Oh, 5'8". Yeah, we are talking about 5'8". I can't tippy toe adventure bikes. So I can't. I could tippy toe the KLR 650 with my 5'6" body, but like I said, I have a 30-inch inseam, so that really does help. If you guys are just now joining, oh, if you're just now joining the stream, if you're just now joining up right now, here's the thing. What I do is the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, the very first part of the section of the videos, I talk about the topic at hand. So I was talking about the short person's guide to motorcycle riding. There's a few things that I have recapped, but if you're just now joining, now is the Q&A portion. But you can go ahead and ask me. If any of you guys just joined and you want to know, let me know, and I can go ahead and recap a lot of it, and I can let you know. 5'10" with a 30 leg length. See, look at see, I'm 5'6" with a 30. 6'1" got iron 83, and it fits perfect, not too small. Okay, so yeah, I have a 1200. So Mato, that's if it fits you perfectly, that's great. Michael Phelps. Dan, how do you get the perfect beard? So, Ethan, getting the perfect beard, you have to have a high amount of testosterone in the first place. So, you have to be like a super duper man in order to get a beard. And it's just something that comes naturally to me. So, 5'8" with boots. And when you get started growing difference in height, seats also have a huge difference in height and stance. Yes, they do. They do. I have a Virago 250 bobber. I'm 6 foot and fantasize this Jap Harley. I laugh when I fuel up. So cheap. I love the bike. John Kavar, that sounds like a fun bike. 5'5", not 29-inch inseam. The struggle is real. See, we're almost about the same. I'm 5'6", 30 inseam. So solo shooter, you're welcome, man. Swing by the Discord. How much is too much power for cruisers? Softails come with a Milwaukee 8 114, but you can go up to 128 with aftermarket parts. Yeah, you could definitely go crazy. I believe they start off at 107s, but you could definitely get the 114. Too much power for cruisers? It all depends on how the delivery of power is. A lot of the time, the delivery of power is towards the very beginning of the range on Harleys, so you're not going to be popping wheelies by accidentally going into fourth gear, and it's almost impossible to accidentally start in fourth gear, so you don't have to worry about that. Just got my bikes a few weeks. Brent S., I got my bikes a few weeks ago. Took it out last Saturday and did some parking lot practice and went for a ride with my dad. All I can say is I am hooked. Brent S., congrats for joining the motorcycle community, bruh. My wife is 5'2". Any beginner bike recommendations? 5'2". Nikki's 4'11", so she has the 4 in there, so it's not 5. I think she's growing a little bit, so she might be 5. The Honda Rebel 300, Honda Rebel 500 is very good. Jay Leone 32 just subscribed. Thank you very much. Honda Rebels are very good bikes. Anything in the 250, 300 range is also very good for somebody that's just starting. No such thing as too much power for cruiser. There's 130 horsepower cruiser. It's all about reliability. Cafe Nicer says, yeah, there's some bikes out there that some sport bikes that have small engines, but man, they go fast. So cruisers, you kind of get away with a lot of the extra power. I'm 6'2" on a Gixxer 1000. Feel it's a low bike. Okay. See, these comments are good. So Seth Gare, these comments are good. Thank you for mentioning that, because a lot of people that are in the chat, they're like, man, what do I get? But then they see, hey, I'm 6'2" on a Gixxer 1000. Feel it's a low bike. It's like, I read that. It's good information. So comments are very important. And I made a video today that's going to come out Friday that is going to really emphasize that. So I want you guys to help out with a lot of these comments, and you guys are doing a great job. I mean, I meant that as there's nothing wrong with being short. I say people should embrace their craziness and illnesses, whether it's physically or mentally. Yeah, boy. Soupy Gnome with the giant LOLs. Any recommendation for a USA road trip? Any recommendations for a USA road trip? Iron Maiden. Guys, we have people all over the United States. That would be a great Iron Maiden. That would be a great question. That would be a great question for the Discord. I would love you to check out the Discord. The Discord is free. The Discord, we have a beginner tips section. We have new riders and everything like that. But if you want to chit chat, well, it's not obvious. Once you get in there, you'll see. If you want to chit chat and ask those types of questions, we have the crew lounge. So definitely check it out. Ask that question. That would be a good question for the new rider questions section. And then you could, whoever answers some of that stuff, you could take his DMs or join Patreon for $1 a month, and you'll get access to the crew lounge, which everyone just kind of chit chats. We have suggestions and feedback, the crew lounge, food and drinks, pet picks, camping, gaming section, voice channels. So that'd be a lot of fun. So definitely swing on by. Rosemary's part of it. Hey, Rosemary. Rosemary's in the Discord. Rosemary's there. So she's have a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun. She's a legend over here. Let's see. Well, I read you can go up to 150 horsepower with the fuel motor, 128cc, big bore, another. Oh, yeah, you could definitely go crazy. You could definitely go crazy with the new Milwaukee 8 stuff. Iron Man's. I saw something. I saw something. Let's see. Nebraska. When you measuring your inseam, what do you measure the ground to what? So the crotch to the ground. That's pretty much it. So the crotch to the ground, because you obviously don't need to measure like your waist, because your waist isn't what's sitting on the bike. It's the crotch. So crotch to the ground. Best way to really do that is go to the store, buy or try on some pants and see what it says. Especially if you're a man, that's how they measure their stuff. Let's see. The Great Smoky Mountain National Park. There's plenty to do and a lot of shops. That was in response to the Iron Maiden. See, we got some. This is what I love about the crew, guys. We're all answering each other's questions. We're all just hanging out, and the only thing I'm doing is just talking on a mic, and you guys are helping me out here. Because I wouldn't know. I haven't been too far east, and that's one of the things that I want to do with the Patreon. Is the reason why it's at 500. It says 239 of 500. The 500 is when I start the DDFM National USA America tour. So once we hit 500, I'll be able to travel and not worry about making a video for those 2-3 weeks that I'm traveling. Because I'll just be hanging out with you guys. You guys will be funding it. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll be teaching you guys everything. So please swing on by patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman, boys. Let's see. I'm looking at the Kawasaki H2 currently. Are you sure? I have to find time to go sit on one, or I can always take my Harley to the track. Might be slow, but I'll be comfy as fuck. So, awesome. If you're just looking for track stuff, there's nothing wrong with your Harley, man. Look up, shoot. There's so many people on National Motors. So National Motors is a guy on Instagram that races his Harley. He kicks sport bikes' riders' asses. So definitely check him out. Honestly, I don't think I'll get a sport bike. I'll just probably make my bike as quiet as I can, because some tracks have a decibel range that you can't outperform. So I want to race my Harley. Any sport bike fans that are new riders, I highly recommend the Ninja 400. It is an awesome bike. I've owned mine for 2 months now. Thank you, Elvis, for the comment. Yes. So any sport bike fans, I also highly recommend the Ninja 400. It's a great bike. What kind of patches do you like, Dan? Ethan, I like any patches. I'm going to start collecting stuff. So here's another thing, guys. Right now, as you notice, there's nothing over here. I'm in the corner of my bedroom right now. Once I move into the new house, I have my own room. I need to put stuff on the walls. I'm going to put shelving and stuff. So if you want to send me anything and you want it to be on the wall, send it to me. I have a P.O. box. I'm going to put Dan Shea's knife that he got me. I'm going to make like a mantle for it. But it's going to be within reach just in case something happens, so I can grab it and stab people. It's going to be within reach. It's going to be on there. Raynin sent me some pictures. I got some stuff. I got my helmet. I got my flag. And basically, whatever it is you guys want to start sending, like if you have a picture, if you have this and that, I'm going to start adding stuff to the wall, and it's going to be the DDFM crew wall, and I'm going to have a blast with it. So if you want to send me patches or anything, definitely want to look into it. Is the stream still running? It's not loading for Rosemary. Might have to restart your stream. They also make a supercharger for the Milwaukee 8s. Holy crap. Soupy Gnome said, Ethan says, Dan, come to Purvis, Mississippi when you do. I'd love to meet you in person. I would love to, man. I've never been east, so all these suggestions, I'm gonna be taking them to heart, because I really want to make sure that I see the country. Honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I want to do it. Soupy Gnome says, honestly, the Black Hills of South Dakota would be a nice place to see if you want nature, but if you want city, I recommend Vegas for start. Yep, Vegas is fun. A little bit crazy. Is a TL1000 a good for a newbie? So the 1000, I'm assuming that's CCs. Suzuki TL1000. That's a fast bike, bro. That is a fast bike. You might be able to get away with it. You might be able to get away with it. The problem is, you're gonna have to ride within your ability. So, I would probably pick a smaller bike. I mean, you could get away with a 600 in a sport bike and still outperform my Sportster. So, okay, put that in perspective. It's not always about CCs and it's a fast bike at 600. Seth Garrett, let's race. Yeah, boy, let's race. Get that rear camera angle so we can see knee touch on your Harley, that track. Boy, Joshua, yes, I would love I would love to do that. I got a lot of cool options for camera angles and everything, so I'll be doing that. I'll be doing some things. If I'm gonna be knee touching, dude, I'm gonna be doing it. DC is a horrible ride. Okay, so don't go to DC. Don't go to this DC. If you notice, I have my Vance and Hines shirt, guys. Vance and Hines. Let's see. Boom, boom. Hopefully, in April, the beginning of April, this AZ Bike Week. So I'm gonna email them, see if I can hang out at their booth. So if you guys are in Arizona during AZ Bike Week, the very first week of April, come say hi to me. Love to meet you guys. I love to meet you guys. Sadly, you can't knee touch. You'll scrape the engine case before you get the knee down. So Cafe, I was at Moto Jitsu, Fast Eddie. I was able to knee drag on my Sportster. So, I mean, I know it can be done. I got close to myself without scratching stuff. It's all in how you counterbalance. Ethan Love, I plan on joining the Army after I graduate next year, so I'd like to do it before basic training unless I change my mind. Congrats. Thank you for wanting to join the Army. That's very nice, Brand. Texas Buzz. I live in DC. Most of the DC area sucks. everyone's going on DC. And that's another thing, guys. For the DDFM USA tour, once we start getting closer and closer and closer, I'll be able to start putting down where we're gonna go. And so your guys' input is very important to me. So swing on by patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. Help support the channel. It's very important that we do this. And let's get it going. I know this sounds crazy, but when I was out riding last week, I was super nervous leaning into curves. Is that normal as a new rider, and how do you overcome it? So yes, that is normal. Fear is going to prevent you. Fear is a bodily, it's a mental thing that causes the body to react. Okay, so it can react well, it can react terribly. It can react like, oh, I'm scared, but I'm going to step up to the plate. Or for the most part, when I'm scared, I'm going to freeze. And that's what's going to cause the turnings to be an issue, because you're going to freeze, you're not going to lean. And if you don't lean during the turn, you're going to go outside and it's going to cause issues. So what you should do is, Iron Maiden, practice. Go to the parking lot and practice that. What I did with Nikki is that we go to a parking lot and there's the building. And she'll go down the back end of the building and she'll make her turn and she'll practice her leans. She'll go back the other way. She'll practice, and that's what I do. So definitely practice. Honestly understand that your tires have a lot of traction. Your tires have a lot of traction. It's just that you're a little bit scared of it, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But the more you practice, this is one of those things that if you go out and practice, you're gonna overcome it yourself. I can give you 1,000 tips on how to do it, but if you just go out there, repetition, try harder, before you know it, you're at a good spot. My dad was born and raised in Votah in Thicket. It's very normal though to be scared. You just need to get used to the new sensation. Yes, so just getting used to it. Joshua, Dan, can you get the DDFM map out as a link so your viewers can see how badass your support is across the country? Yeah. So right now, guys, we have 239. This thing right here, the 239 of 500. That is a direct link to my Patreon. So if you donate, that's going to update. So if you get on there, we just need one person at $1 to make it hit 240. It will readjust itself. It'll show the update. There's a map, and that map is just a stock map. That map's going to change. That map will change depending on where and who wants me to come see them. So I'm going to try to make it to where I can visit as many people as possible, come train them as much as possible, hang out with them as much as possible, and then take off the next day to go meet some more. And I'll have this huge itinerary of what I'll be doing. So guys, if you could help out and see, I see people here saying Joshua wants me to come meet him. So let's help out. Let's go out there and do it. As of right now, I can't do it because we're not there yet. Okay, I would love to do it right now, but I have a car, so I mean, I guess I could ride, but riding across country, that's going to take longer, so I wouldn't be able to go as far as I want. So if I have a truck and trailer or my DDFM van, depending on what's more inexpensive, is that how you say it? That way I could take my bike with me and I can come ride with you, but driving definitely is going to be a lot easier than riding across the country. Dan, can I tell you a joke that's kind of dirty? Yeah. Iron Man. I'd go to a car park when there's no cars and just practice. Yes. On the DDFM training manual, I have 12 exercises, guys. I have 12 exercises that you could do in a parking lot that will help you out. Just saying. And it's only for $1 a month. $1 a month on Patreon. Practice makes perfect. Don't sense up. Brent or Death Grip and Rain. It's easy on throttle. Don't leave as much in wet. You guys are coming up with some great answers for everybody. I love that you guys are helping each other out. Bob Easy, I'm getting the Rebel 500 this weekend, buzz! My plan is to practice on the street for the first week to get the hang of the bike. Then I will take the first rider course. I will be using a bunch of videos for help. So Bob Easy, you're being smart. You're being smart. That's awesome. Uh-oh, Ethan with the dirty joke. I do not know. How many does it have? I'm not going to read it out loud. Come to Florida. Plenty of crazy drivers. Yes, I will definitely be swinging by Florida because there's a lot of people in Florida that I want to meet. I'm not looking forward to the crazy drivers. Enigma for you. Ethan, Jesus. What would be considered short? Short, I would say anything around the 5 foot range. Anything around the 5 foot range. So 6 inches above and below the 5 foot range. So 5'6", I'm 5'6", so I believe I'm short. Did you hear about the guy? Did you hear about the guy who did a loop around the U.S. with a 50cc scooter? I saw I think his photogrammer went across the country on his 125cc Grom, but I didn't see that one. That's pretty cool. That's crazy. I had to learn on my gravel back road. Help me get a real good control. I plan on practicing in a school lot this weekend. Yeah, if you practice on a gravel road, man, you're already way ahead of the schedule because that right there is reduced traction. So all the little slips and slides, you're getting a really good balance for your bike. So you're ahead of the game right there, bruh. What's up, Michael GL? How you doing? How you doing, Michael GL? 5'6", and a lot of bikes have high seatings, except cruisers a lot of the time. Dynamic J thought. I'm 5'6" also. I'm 5'6" also. So yeah, cruisers have been my go-to. The FZ07, I sat on that one. It was perfectly fine with me, and that's a powerful bike, and that's probably one of the best beginner bikes slash bikes you can grow into slash good-looking bikes. So FZ07 is a great sport bike to get into. Let's see. Cryptics. Hey, Dan, you think I can manage a DRZ 400 with 32-inch inseam? I can manage the DRZ 400 with a 30. I think you can manage it with 32. You might not be able to flat-foot it, but depending on the boots that you get and how much you weigh, so you can compress the shocks or the suspension, you could definitely get away with that. So, and honestly, I would love to have a DRZ 400 for myself. Sadie on a bike. Hey, how you doing? The live stream's actually gonna be ending pretty soon. It's gonna be sorry about that. It's gonna be ending pretty soon, but guys, let's see if we can get one patron. It's only $1. It's only $1. Patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. It helps support the channel and it allows me to do these live streams for you guys and answer you guys' question. Good thing, also good to practice in a car park is emergency stop. If you're a beginner, make sure you learn the same time as you learn clutch control. Exactly, because I did a video on that. I did a video on that, I think, last month, and it was a very popular video. Something that everyone should be watching. Everybody that should watch is the emergency braking, and it's on the DDFM training manual, everybody. It's on the DDFM training manual. Perfect short rider cruisers, the S40 Boulevard. Yes, that's a good one too. Why are Groms the rage? Price, affordability. So John, I think they're just fun little stupid things. They're just fun little stupid things. I think that's what it is. Price and affordability definitely plays into it. If it was too expensive, nobody would buy it because they're really just designed to have fun on. And that's one of the things with smaller CC engines, guys, and smaller bikes. You have a ton of fun on them. I have more fun on Nikki's. Well, I wouldn't say that. I have a lot of fun. I have the same amount of fun on Nikki's bike than I do on mine, and she has a 500. I have a 1200 that is souped up. So, yeah, Rain is gonna want you to get an FC. She has an FC. The issue with cruisers can be weight. I'm 5'1", 101 pounds. 1 second, it just moved on me. Just got a Honda Rebel and love it. Yeah, Nikki has the Honda Rebel and she absolutely loves it. You guys are about the same height and everything, so that's awesome. Enigma for you. Okay, because I'm 5'1", 27-inch inseam, and I hear people around 5'6" complaining about being short. It's a real struggle. I can't flat foot my bike, and it's 31 inches. In fact, I'm on my tippy toes 1 foot. Yeah, if somebody that's 5'6" complaining about being short, and you're just standing next to them, be like, shut up. I'm 5'5" and can flat foot my Sportster with bending my knee. Yeah, so that's one of the cool things about Sportsters and cruisers like that is that they're very beginner friendly. The temperature is rising. When is Nikki going to start riding again? You know, that's a great question, Bob. It is getting freaking nice out. What's the temperature right now? It is perfect temperature right now to go for a ride. So now there's no more excuses, right? There's no more excuses. Yeah. My wife is 4'11" and around 105. She does okay on cruisers. Yeah, dynamic. Man, we all have like short wives. Why do companies not make any bikes for shorter riders? Are they just not safe or too small of a market? Probably too small of a market. But there are some shorter bikes or smaller bikes. And the thing is, they don't make like the like 1,000cc super sport bikes designed for short people. They're designed for the normal, I don't want to say normal, designed for the average person. Because that's where most of the market is. So they usually just don't. It's weird. You have to do aftermarket stuff. And you get used 100% of the bike about 80% of the time with smaller bikes. Joshua, what do you think about Sport Tour like the Concours 14? Sport Tours are badass. They're very fast bikes, and they're considered touring bikes, not super sport bikes. So you get better insurance rates. Sadie, it depends on the bike. I have a cruiser, but I went for one that was lighter than the others I tried. Just got to shop around. What's your opinion on outlaw MCs? I wouldn't I'm not going to participate in outlaw MC, but if somebody wants to, that's fine with them. My main thing is show people respect. Make sure you're respectful to other people, and whether you're an MC or not, if you're respectful to somebody else and you have the integrity and honesty that kind of goes with what I want to do, then you're fine with me. I don't care who you are. 5'1", 31-inch inseam. It's not perfect temperature for me to ride. Now I'm sad. Aw. Hey, Yang Xiaolong. Hey, you guys are all Soupy Gnome's always in the chat. Soupy Gnome's always in the chat. Guys, I'm gonna be getting off. I'm gonna be spending some time. I do these streams from 5 to 6 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. 5 to 6 my time. I'm in Arizona. If you guys got any... Oh, we just hit 240. Bobby Zavala, boys, just pledge $1 on Patreon. Oh, yeah. Watch, see, it's going to update. It's going to update, everybody. It's going to update. So that right there is support. Like 240 of 500. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. That helps out the channel. You have access to the DDFM training manual. You have access to all the cool stuff on the Discord. So, guys, that is how you support the channel right there. That is how you support the channel. And that is how you do your things. It's 1 a.m. Iron Maiden. Swing by the Discord. So the Discord's absolutely free. Before I get off, I want to see in the Discord that people joined. I have access to the log of who joins, who leaves, who gets deleted, who blah, 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 blah. I have access to that. I want to see that log blow up with new members. So the DDFM chat is absolutely free. Absolutely free. It's a great resource. Swing on by. If you are a $1 patron or more, just for $1, you get access to the rest of the Discord where you can chit chat and do a bunch of stuff. Sinister, yeah, boys. Sons of America Motorcycle Club, Rum Road Originals. You want to start a club? So starting a club, that's a whole nother topic. That is a whole nother thing. I started the crew, and you can be a part of it if you want. Part of the DDFM crew. There you go. So guys, thank you, Bobby, for making us hit 240. I appreciate it. Everybody, swing by the Discord. It's absolutely free. I want to see all these people come in. I see the bot log. I see. I'm gonna see people coming out and hanging out. Let's do this. Let's get people in there. But guys, with that said, I'm going to be heading out. I'm gonna go downstairs and go work out. I need to go work out. So thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. 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 I appreciate it, guys. The Discord is pretty active all the time, especially the crew lounge, the new rider question section, the maintenance and gear, mental health. That's where you get a lot of good resources, and you get to talk and hang out with people about that certain topic. But if you want to hang out and just bullshit, swing by the crew lounge. Yeah, it's quite often quite active. The crew lounge, you could see it. It's visible to you, but if you become a dollar patron or a YouTube member, you get access to the rest of the stuff. Enigma, for you just logged in, just joined the server. Yeah, boy. Remember, if you are a patron, go ahead and link your Patreon and Discord. If you need help with that, let me know. Or one of the moderators, they'll help you out. That way you get access to the crew lounge, the motorcycle media, the food and drinks, the pet pics, the camping, the gamer section, all the voice channels, music channel. I'll see you guys later.